Good evening. Hope you're all well. Welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And I've just messed up the screen. There we go. How are we all doing? I hope you're all well. Just me for this evening. Unfortunately, Neil is caught up with work at the moment, so you'll just have to persevere with me. The team is in. As I alluded to last night, there is a few changes. He's gone with Bizo, Cash, Konza, Pau, Matson, Kamara, McGinn, Gesson, Rogers, Buendia, and Malin. So yeah, Bizo, Cash, Konza, Pau, Matson, Kamara, McGinn, Gesson, Rogers, Buendia, and Malin. On the bench, no Emi Martinez. Proctor, Oakley, Digne, Lindelof, Mings, Bogard, Garcia, who we haven't seen all season, Elliott, Sancho, Watkins, and Burrows. So there's a lot going on there. Where do we start? I did allude to it, as I said in our preview last night, that I expected changes. I expected Bizo. I think I name-checked Pau, definitely, and I name-checked Malin, given that he left Malin out of the Champions League squad for last season. So they are changes. What do we all think? Are we happy with it? Were they expected? What did you guys expect going into tonight? It's a regular setup, because obviously you got your back four of Cash, Konza, Pau, and Matson. McGinn will sit with Kamara, Gesson, Rogers, and Buendia in behind Daniel Malin, I would imagine. Unless he does something strange like playing Gesson off the top and Malin out wide, which I doubt it. It's a strange one because I seem to be the only one that suggested that might happen. But what do you guys think? Give us a shout in the comments there and let me know what you think. And I'll try and get the Bologna team for you. If they're... I always find that these... teams don't buy into Twitter as much, and they haven't put up their team, have they? No. Let's see if we can look at their Italian version and see if they've done it there. No. Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. I'm sure somebody will share the Bologna team. Joe C says, Buendia, oh God, you're offline with your comments now. Buendia ahead of Elliott is complete madness. I'm not surprised with the time it's taken to integrate Elliott into the team. It's what he has done since he got here. Unai Emery has always waited and let people play themselves into form or get themselves fit before putting them on the pitch. John Morgan says we just have to trust Emery. I think we're all at this stage. I think we saw a completely different Unai Emery yesterday in his presser. Jimmy Carr says, is Martinez sick or a knock? I would say neither. I would say it's his night off. Simple as that. Strange that he's not in the backup, but I'm sure some salty journalist will ask that question. Andy asked, why should we trust Emery? Well, Andy, I don't know how old you are. It's hard to see in that little photo. But this last 3 years has been probably the best 3 years of my life supporting Villa. I'm just about young enough to remember 1982, but I was a child. I didn't recognise how epic that was, nor did I have a particular interest in football at the time. But I trust them. I trust them 1,000,000%. I trust them. The football hasn't been great this season. There's a lot of things going on, so let's reserve judgment on that one. And yeah, you know how to push my buttons if that's what you're saying. John Steele says, I think Martinez should have started. Maybe so. We'll see what happens later on. Tom Ryan says, hi Paddy from the lads in the Sacred Heart. Hope you're all well in the Sacred Heart. Hope you have the team sheet tantrum on the big screen in there. Have a point for me. I'd love to be over there tonight, but I'll settle for the local here with the Limerick Lions. Yeah, Cat Cannon has put the team up there. Everyone go through it again. If anyone has the Bologna team, stick it in there and we'll put it up. Bizzo, Cash, Konza, Torres, Matson. I think that's fairly straightforward. He likes Torres in the European setting. He's got some ball players in there now with Kamara and McGinn in front of him. Gesson, Rogers, Buendia, and Malin. Yeah, look, it's a strong enough team. I don't think we can complain too much. A lot of youth on the bench from our B squad, I would imagine. So yeah, let's see what he does, and hopefully we can look at 3 points. Andy says he's older than me, and Unai isn't his favourite man. Well, that's fine, Andy. You're entitled to that, 100%. Rod Humble says, pretty clear to me that Martinez is off in January, which is fine. Not so sure. I've more questions about that than anything else. More questions than answers for sure. I'm sure we'll find out over the next few months. Paul Grant says, I find it odd that Martinez is not involved in cup matches. Me too, to a certain extent. But you've brought this guy in. Has he brought him in on the premise that he plays cup matches, and that's what he's there for tonight. And says she has WhatsApp me the team. And she has. Jibbers. No big surprises in there. Castro starts up front is the big one for them. Odegaard, Fruler and Ferguson sitting in midfield. Yeah, no surprises really in that team. Berdashevsky and Cameron Kabiagi, whatever you pronounce it, is off the left. A 4-3-3 as they've been setting up since the start of this season. Maxius says, interesting team. I agree. It's very interesting. It'll be interesting to see what we do. John Steele says, I'm older than you and Unai is the best manager I've seen at Villa. He will get it right. I believe so, John. But look, everybody's entitled to their opinion today. Carrie says Rodgers has been genuinely terrible all season. I agree. Sorry about that. Nothing we can do. It's games like this that he may come into his own. So let's stick with it and see how we get on. Maxis says, who scores today? I'd like to see Rodgers get a goal today. I'd like to see Malin get a goal today. I don't really care where it comes from once we get 3 points. Not expecting loads of goals, but then again, who knows? Rob Henry says, no Neil today. Is he on his way in January? He might well be, Rob. We'll just have to wait and see. I have no insider information on that. Michael says hello from Gabby. Gabby just turned 18 at the weekend, so I'm quite happy now that I can throw a few F-bombs in there, and I'm not. She's old enough to work out herself whether she wants to watch it. What's he got? Paper Wings, the Gamecast says, what a shy team. Elliot has to start. Madness. Well, I'd agree with you that he has to start, but he didn't start, and we don't pick the team. We can critic it all we like, but I think this is how he was always going to set out for European competition and mix it up and make life make things a little bit fresher and give guys a chance. As I said previously about Malin, I thought it'd be madness not to play Malin tonight with the fact that we signed him and then left him out of the Champions League squad last year. John says again, needs to pull a performance. Rodgers needs to pull a performance out of the bag tonight. Totally believe that is the case. Patrick Svensson says, hope you're doing well, mate. Emery does this. He wants the players to play. He wants the play the players into form. Why Rodgers is playing. Very good observation there. We've said that many a time. He doesn't like putting players in straight away. I disagree with this one on Sancho and Elliott, as they already have Premier League experience. I always thought that's why he let them just slowly drift their way into it. The exception of Pau Torres, who had to go in because of the injury we sustained to Tyrone Mings in the first match of last season before last, was it? Noel Connaughton says, good evening, Patrick. I'm older than you. Yes, you are, Noel. Only just, but you're older than me. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Andy Hilly says he sat in the front row not far from the dugout. Let's hope we can see a few Villa goals tonight. Andy, I hope you have a great night there tonight. I hope there's not too many empty seats. I hope people get behind it as much as they can. Paul D says, is Neil at the game? I think we spotted him in the Villa store. Neil is not at the game, unfortunately. He will be back on after the game, but he just got caught with work and can't do the team sheet tantrum, unfortunately. Andy also says Watkins needs to sit this one out. He's been awful. I agree, 100%. Aaron says, let's do this 2 under the Villa. Totally agree with you there, Alan. Just any type of win at all would be great. John Dejani, hope you're doing well, buddy. Thinking the game when at last we gel. Hope you're well, Paddy. Hope you're well, buddy. I think this could be the game that we gel. But I've been thinking that since the start of the season. LG says it's an awful lineup. They're quite entitled to that. I hope you're doing well, and I hope all is well with you. Ian says, well, Paddy, Ian from Rovers here, watching on from hospital. Jeepers. Managed to have a stroke. Think it was the Villa. Well, I hope you're well, Ian. Look after yourself. I hope you're able to watch it in the hospital, and boy, it's probably not the best thing to be doing in your current state, but look after yourself, and we look forward to you being back to full health in the near future, hopefully. Probably should have read that before I clicked on it, but I really hope you're doing well. Look after yourself. Stuart says, I thought Maatsen and Sancho played well on Sunday. Hope they both play well tonight. Yeah, well, I think it's one of those games where they get a chance again to go with it, go at it with each other, and see how it would work out. But he has thought the opposite, so we'll just have to wait and see. LG says if we don't win tonight, Emery is the problem. We'll wait and see and reserve judgment on that, LG. I'm not going to agree with you, unfortunately. What else have we got here? Michael says, worried about Malin up front. He's a winger at best. I don't think we know what he is, to be honest, Michael. I haven't seen enough of him. I haven't seen him get enough of a chance. Anytime he's got a chance, he struggled to get himself into it, which is difficult. And look, he had to get over the awful news of being dropped out of that Champions League team at the start of his Villa career. So I'll back him. He got on with it, and he was an ultimate professional throughout last season. So I'll back him until he proves otherwise. But I think he has to be given a chance. Rob Henry says, Malin brace tonight. I would love that. I'd love it. And Elliot off the bench to score a screamer 3-0. Matt Hand says you can't blame Watkins for zero service. Agree to a certain extent. They couldn't say too much about him this year. He has had a couple of chances where he was caught flat-footed, where he really should have done better with them. Crystal Palace has won, and then won at the weekend, which you'd have to lay the blame at his feet, unfortunately. What else have we got here? Swampy wants to know what my score prediction is. Swampy, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I'm going to go for a Maatsen and Rodgers to kickstart their season today. I think it'll be one of the nights for that, and I hope the crowd get behind them and really help them on to victory tonight, because we don't want to be playing catch up in this competition. It's hard enough to get yourself up that table. And there's some strange results happened last night, so 3 points on the board will be great. Dean Blackwood, Dean's wife Amy here. He is listening while in intensive care, and you're putting a smile on his face. Hope the Villa do the same. Well, Dean and Amy, you're in our thoughts. Anyone that's sitting watching my ugly mug from hospital, and if I've put a smile on your face, well, we're doing something right here. But look after yourself. You've obviously got great company there beside you, Dean, and we're all thinking of you, so get well soon. What else have we got here? Charlie says the new Villa book is as good as is so good. It's as good as Greg Evans' book. I haven't seen it yet, Charlie. I've read most of Greg's book on my holidays, but fell asleep on the flight on the way home and didn't get to finish it. But I will put aside an hour to get down and get that finished. But Greg's book, Greg and Matt's book, is really, really good. Tom says we need Martinez for this. Yeah. Stephen says something similar. What's the thinking behind him not to be in the squad? Some people have suggested a knock. Some people have suggested illness. We just don't know whether he's just been left out or if it's purely tactical. We just don't know. David Dwyer says, I'm not sure where the goals are coming from, but this ref owes us one. David, as far as I'm concerned, every ref owes us one, but they very rarely give us anything, so I'm certainly not worrying about it. We've just got to do our own job and hopefully put this game to bed before we have to worry about any referee. And God knows they're absolutely, like, PGMOL are bad enough, but these European referees are absolutely pathetic. And what this guy did to cost us that win against Juventus, I don't know what we're at if that's the way football has gone. When you consider what we've been through with referees, we could do without some of that tonight. I know we've got lots of time to recover, but that would have been an amazing night to go and beat Juventus along with everyone else at Villa Park. And in my mind, we actually did win that game, but it irks me to think about it ever since. Sean, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Your donation to the pod. 3-1 to the Villa, Paddy. Konza back post. Watkins and Mallon with the third. Up the Villa. Let's go, lads. Come on. I hope you're right. That would be nice. It'd be nicer not to concede, but I'll take any type of win here tonight. It's a green bin day, says 1-1. Neil's favourite handle on our Twitter. Fair play to you. What have we got? Oh, sorry. Dean says he thinks Villa will score 3 goals. I hope he does. And I hope that's not the drugs talking in the hospital. So I hope we get 3 goals to lighten the mood for him and cheer him up there tonight. John Steele's going for a butter-clenching 1-0 win. I think I'll take that at this stage. What else have we got here? Gav Deacon says, Hart says 2-1, Head says draw. Yeah, I think we're all hoping there. There's a lot of good wishes in for you there, Dean. I hope everything is well. What else we got here? So, Mark Brannigan, we need to have a fast start. Get after them right from the start. It's the only way to get the crowd going. I think it's important we get at them from the start because they're going to press us very high. They're going to work their nuts off, especially in that front three at Marshall and our back four. And I think that's why Powell is in there for his passing ability. That and the fact that he can give Mings a bit of a break. It's the perfect game for Powell, to be honest. It will be interesting to see how they line up against us and how high the press is. I envisage a very high press right from the start, so we could see the goalkeeper going long on a number of occasions early on. What do we got here? Liam says Malin, a trick can come. Hopefully so. Lorraine says up the Villa from Naples. I hope you're doing well out there in Naples, and I hope the weather is nice and warm down along that beautiful part of the world. Gavin says, would have preferred a stronger team. This is one of the hardest fixtures and we need to start strong. Yeah, we do need to start strong. Is there enough in that team to win? I believe there is. We're lacking in confidence, so it's hard to tell how it will line up. But let's have a little bit of faith in what's to come, and hopefully it will be a better night for us all. Bolg says, sometimes it's good to remember health and family are more important than football. I hope you're doing game, Paddy, after a tough time. Stay positive, people. 100% can reiterate Bolg's sentiment there. It is absolutely, life is very tough, but be thankful that we can all come here as a family and look after each other and look out for each other. And you know, if as I've said many times, if anyone is suffering and needs to chat, DMs are always open. Come and say hello. Neil is the same. Come and say hello to us, and we're more than happy to have a chat. But great to hear that the guys are in good spirits in hospital there. Oliver says, not the team I was expecting, but Unai is the main man in this competition. Unai, we trust. 2-1 Villa. Yeah, look, no manager has won this competition more often than he has, so we've got to hope that he'll drive us on to a win tonight. Rod says, I have time off work to watch it, so I'm excited regardless. Can't shake the feeling that Emi Martinez is a problem behind the scenes. I hope I'm wrong. Look, we'll find out in the long run what happened with that Emi Martinez situation. Same with the JJ situation. They're two head-scratching ones for me. Does what's happened in the last few days shed some light on what's been going on behind the scenes? We just probably won't find out anytime soon. But there will be a Greg Evans book or a Guillaume Balaguer book in 5 years' time where we'll probably find out all that information. Caroline Collins, I hope you're well, Caroline. Nervy 3-0 win, up the Villa, candles and positively light lit. I think we might need a candle tonight. It's going to be a tough one. There's a lot of negativity around. I hope it's not the case in the stadium tonight. I hope they can get behind them. There is absolutely nothing like a European night. There's nothing like being there under those lights, listening to the music. Last year will live long in my memory. Those Champions League nights, listening to the music. My biggest regret is they fucked it up on the last night and played the Europa League music. I guess that was to tell us where we were going this year, back into our box and out of the Champions League. But yeah, some amazing nights at Villa Park last year. Some amazing nights all over the years. I was there in 1998 at Atletico Madrid. The noise that night only rivaled by the Bayern Munich goal, by the PSG goals the goals against PSG last year. So yeah, I've had plenty of amazing European nights and look forward to many more, hopefully. Mate, Kevin Hunter's there. Should be playing Watkins into form. Elliott not starting to is a surprise. I agree with you on the Watkins point of view there, but I just feel, as I said in the preview, and I'll say it again, I said it earlier, I just feel that he owes Marlon one because he left them out of the Champions League squad at the start of the season. If you weren't on and missed that, sorry for repeating myself. Gav Deacon, loving the positivity. Paddy, can I borrow some? Keep up the great work, lads. I'm not sure I'm totally positive, Gav. I'm trying to just relay what people are saying. I think the only positive I've been given out there is I'm certainly not Unai Emery out. There seems to be only a couple of people saying something similar in the comments. I'm certainly not at that stage, and don't think I'll ever be at that stage. I think he will leave long before it comes to that. And hopefully that won't be for many, many years because he's given us such amazing memories in the last few years. I'd like to be positive, as in saying we're going to win and win well tonight. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. I see a win, a possibility of a win, but I just nothing is telling me that there's a great performance coming and one that's going to set the world on fire. So we'll just have to wait and see. What else have we got here? Andrew said, also good to have the wee Paddy solo down again. Big one tonight. Let's flip the script and get a 3-0 win. Fingers crossed. Hope that works out for you. Thanks for the kind words, Andrew. Steady-eyed says, just so glad I found you, Paddy. Good to see you in there. I hope you enjoy the content that comes your way now that you've subscribed. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so you know when we're going live. But thanks very much for subscribing to the podcast. And if you're in there and you haven't already done that, please do that. Please do that for us. Rod says, past 3 years of amazing. I hope there's more to come. Agree with you, Rob, 100%. I'll get to a few more there, and then we'll go. You want to get your scores in there? I'll run through them quickly before I finish up. I have a bus to catch as I go and have a pint with the lads tonight while we watch the Villa. Hopefully they're happy points. Matt says, hello, Paddy. Enjoy the game. We'll try to. It just depends what happens on the pitch, whether we can enjoy it or not. It's tough one. It's been a tough start to the season, so we'll just see how it goes. What has Andy said here? Paddy, what do you make to stick to the football comments? Seem to delight in their return to a place of not threatening the big boys with little knowledge or no context given. But I think, Andy, that really is the story of our lives for the last few years. They haven't wanted us there. We've got there. We've pissed them off. They've caught us out on a refereeing decision, which ultimately, I know the results cost us last year. But when it came down to it, the referee's result again, or the referee's decision versus Manchester United ultimately knocked us out of the Champions League. So they're delighted. We're pissed off. The only way this can get better is if the team themselves play themselves back into contention for the Champions League. Unfortunately, the form we're in at the moment, we've had a bad start. It's the end of September. We haven't had a win yet, so I can't see that happening this year. But we're going to have a little bit of a bit of a reset, have a bit of faith in what the management can do. Obviously, there's a change in there this week for a reason that will come out in the light of day at some stage. We can all look back fondly at the last 3 years and look. Who's to say that we don't lift silverware? We've had a difficult start to the season. We're dumped out of the Carabao Cup. Thankfully, this is an 8-match competition, so we can afford to slip up. So if it doesn't come tonight and it waits till Sunday to come, so be it. We will recover, we will get better, and we will be in the knockout stages of this competition. Let's have a look at some of your scores there. Steady says 3 or 4-0 for us. That'd be nice. Stephen says 3-1 Villa. Paul Miller says 2-1 nervous finish. A couple of people I heard saying that today. Tom says 2-0 Villa. Rod Humble says 3-0 Villa because I want to believe. Pat Mack says, trust me, 4-1 to the Villa, just watch. I'd take that. Standing on the word says, I wish Paddy was in the dugout, he'd sort the lads out. I'm not so sure about that. Too old school, I think, for modern day football. David Dwyer goes 2-1 Villa. Liam says 6-1. I hope that's the Villa, but gladly snap your hands off for that too. Gav says he changed his prediction after your positivity, Paddy. 2-1 Villa, Europa League winners and back in the Champions League. That would be nice. Nick is not feeling our positivity. He's going for 2-1 Bologna, or Nick, or whether that's a boy or girl, I'm not so sure. Give me one more positive one before we finish up. Mark Brannigan is going for a 2-0 Villa, and it's been a pleasure having you guys in, over 1,000 of you in there. Thank you so much for everything you do for the podcast. Hope I can give you a little bit of information in the lead up to this before the TV goes live. If you're at the game, I hope you have an amazing night. I hope the team gives you everything you wanted going into this game. It's not going to be easy. Get behind the team and we'll be just fine. As I frantically tried to find out how to turn off this, I found it. Okay. We'll be just fine. I hope you all have a great night. Get yourselves ready for the night ahead. Get your drinks or whatever you favour while watching the match. Hug your loved ones, because as we've seen, there's a couple of people not so fortunate in the comments tonight. And best luck and best wishes to both of them. And we wish you all a speedy recovery. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.